Okay, today we are working on getting raised bed gardens prepped, so they're finally completed, and now we're going to begin the process of filling those raised beds. Now we've done the math. We've got, let's see, effectively we have effectively 14 4x10 to 4x12 raised bed gardens, and they're 12 inches deep or more, and that represents a ton of material, material that we need to fill those with, and that represents a lot of cash. Now, if we just go to the garden store, for example, and buy potting soil mix or compost, those bags of topsoil, any of those options, that's going to mean that each raised bed could potentially be, well, hundreds easy, and all told, between all those beds, we're looking at thousands of dollars just to put the material in them to begin to grow the soil. To begin to grow the plants. Piece at a time. I got the John Deere picking up pieces, but you know, rather than run a bunch of loads with the bucket of the tractor, I'm gonna grab Yukon Red and we'll put it in the back of the truck. Okay, so each of those beds, if we were to just go business as usual, go to the store, pick up what you need, we're talking thousands of dollars. And ultimately, if we run the numbers, you know, 4 foot by 10, 4 foot by 12, we've got 14 of those. That comes out to approximately 1.5 yards of fill of soil, compost, manure, 1.5 yards per raised bed. That means 21 yards to fill everything. That means at $30 to $50 per yard of the material, we're talking some serious cash. And we don't need to do that. In fact, it's not the best way. It's just the quickest way. So rather than utilizing 21 yards of high dollar either potting mix from Lowe's or the Grange, that kind of thing. We can utilize 21 yards of fill, and actually a huge portion of that fill is going to be the bottom third of dry material, dry organic material. So these are cuttings from the vines, been sitting out in a big pile. In fact, we're going to burn the bulk of them today. So we have a truckload of them that we just picked up. Just watch that, and we will put this as the base layer for both aeration and also water retention. So a good amount of this just to keep a good light amount of material, but it's going to break down over time, provide the nutrients that we need, and it's free. It's a byproduct of the farm. So a bit of the progression here, we've been putting in the vines from cuttings, which is tremendous. So we're building the gardens from the vines up, which is a pretty cool analogy, and in truth that is what's going to be happening here. So from the vines into the garden, and now we're grabbing our remainder from fall leaves that we had stacked up. Even put a fire to them just to kind of increase some of that, because we had tons of that, but it was just so wet that we couldn't sustain the fire, and it really wasn't what we were up to that day. So we have this tremendous compost that has already been doing its action, and I thought it was just going to be just a big bed of leaves, and in fact what we've got is just really good material. Worms already in here doing their magic, and it's just really rich soil. If you look at the density of the soil in comparison from this to what we have here, very clay heavy soil. Just let's see, better light for you. Just very dry stuff. Quite a difference in here, quite a difference.
Putting a halter on a go.
You guys want to go on a hike?
Oh, wow.
She just doesn't want to be alone.
How you doing, little kid? Yeah. Thing, but it still works.
Yeah.
Here, just take that.
It's probably one of those we don't.
No, we're not taking. We're just taking 2 goats.
Ow. Putting this away because we're not taking the mama and the baby. We're just taking the Lazarus, and what's her name? Oh, Catherine. So, and then up to where we're walking the goats, and it should be a blast. Berry poop. Great.
Good. So cool to get back on this trail. So we're connected from the vineyard up into Bureau of Land Management properties, so federal land. And what a great thing to get back up on these trails. We just topped out here on the ridge line. If it was clear, I mean, I can see all the way to Ashland down over the vineyard, although we can't see it through the tree lines. And then what I'm assuming, it's gotta be some water down in here in this basin. So we want to check that out another time. Got to get back to dinner tonight. Pretty cool to just pop up here and then, you know, have to hike back, get back for pizza. Got to get this going. She's already in milk. She just had her doeling, and we'll be picking up just the doe. So she'll be in milk. She'll need to be milked every 12 hours for next year and a half, maybe 2 years, depending. Alpine goats are remarkably high producers, and that is exactly why we were going with an alpine registered alpine goat. So she will pair in the future with Julius Caesar, our registered alpine buck, and our milk operation is just about to begin. Okay, so I've got the standard table. You know, it's just a table. You can do this in any number of ways. It needs to be big enough for the goat to stand on. It needs to be nice and secure. So I've definitely overbuilt this table. Just a quick spin around here. It's an old barrel stand. As you can see, that's the shape of a barrel upside down, kind of a cradle. But what I'm going to try to do, just like so many of the other pieces here, is utilize reclaimed materials. And so for this, I'm grabbing barrel staves. So this is French oak, super sturdy stuff. What I'm going to try to do is utilize the natural bend of these as the keep for the goat as she's having her food. So this is a little narrow, so I'm going to have to find a way to bring these out a little further, or at least maybe do a hinge at the bottom where I can bring the top up maybe to a piece that I put in between, and then secure it up at the top, so you can just kind of slide it open where it will just hinge open and close to the right spot. I'm going to try that, and I've got to get some uprights in here to support this system as well, because of course that'll be way too won't have enough support, I suppose, to say that once again. So a little bit of figuring to make it unique takes a little extra time. I was kind of looking through that system, couldn't figure out a reasonable way to attach those hinges, and the problem is that they're wider than the uprights here, which I just got attached. But I have other reclaimed materials. I've got pallets, and so grab the trusty Sawzall, and I can remove some of these boards by cutting through these nasty bits, and we'll be able to use this reclaimed material another way. See you, Liam. Liam's heading off to finish up his flight training. Okay, that worked pretty well. It worked great. Sawzall does wonders with those twisty nails that are in the pallets. So all clean, ready to go. I'm going to use the barrel staves in some way on this project, and for now I'm going to use them to help me draw the shape that I want. I already know that two of them closely connected is just a little bit narrow for what I want. So I'm going to space them out slightly, set them down on the boards, and draw in, use them to draw in the angle. In fact, what I'll probably do is just draw on the outside edge rather than the inside, and that should get me the cut that I'm looking for. All right, just finished up mounting this in here, and I'm not sure how tall she is, so I've been looking at our dough, our milk dough. So I'm not sure how tall she is, so I have attached these in here, down low. And this one is our pivot. See, it pivots on that screw. But if she is too tall for this opening to work, I went ahead and put in these horizontals, and then I can attach, similarly as I've done up here, I can attach them down or even up higher. So we'll know once we get her home, and that'll be an easy and quick change once we are on the scene. So we're ready for ready for the unknown as much as we can be. Okay, straight from the farm. Straight from the farm to the lake. Gotta get back in training. Okay, today we're gonna work on being comfortable in different positions, being comfortable paddling at pace, right? And let's see. I'm guessing we'll have some wind come up, so also being comfortable in the wind. So all those things added in together, and without Liam up front to assist. So that'll be our main function for today. Ready. Nice, nice. Another gust coming, you see it? Ready. There it is.